Hey there, and welcome. If you've ever found yourself just staring at an Amazon parrot, completely mesmerized, you already know there's something special. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible and, yeah, pretty complicated world of breeding them. So let's just jump right in.
I mean, this says it all, right? These birds are absolute showstoppers. It's what makes them one of the most popular birds on the planet. You see those vibrant feathers, but what really gets you is their intelligence and these massive personalities packed into a feathered body. It's that combo that pulls so many of us into aviculture. You know, the whole practice of keeping and breeding birds.
So, here's our game plan for this little journey. First, we'll meet some of the most popular species you'll encounter. Then, we'll get into what it really takes to prepare for success. After that, we'll break down the breeding cycle itself, step by step. And finally, we're going to tackle the really important stuff, the challenges and the ethics of it all. Okay, first things first. You can't even think about breeding Amazons if you don't know the key players. Different species have totally different personalities and needs, so let's meet a few of the birds that breeders and keepers absolutely cherish.
Kicking things off with a total superstar, the yellow-naped Amazon. These guys are famous for their massive personalities and oh my gosh, their talking ability is just off the charts. Some of them can even learn to sing opera. Seriously, it's no wonder they're such a favorite.
And next up, we've got the blue-fronted Amazon. This is one of the most popular pet parrots in the entire world. And it's not just because they're beautiful. They are also incredibly adaptable, which makes them a really solid choice for both first-timers and seasoned pros.
And just when you thought the yellow-naped was a chatterbox, meet the double yellow-headed Amazon. Their vocal talent is just wow. It's often considered completely unmatched. And that stunning yellow head, a total showstopper.
Now here's the orange-winged. It might be a little smaller than some of its cousins, but don't let that fool you. This bird is hardy, and that resilience, mixed with a super playful and charming personality, makes them a really rewarding bird to work with.
Say hello to the mealy Amazon, which everyone calls the gentle giant of the Amazon world. And for good reason. It's one of the largest species, so you might expect this huge, boisterous personality, but nope, they're actually known for being way calmer and more gentle than their smaller relatives.
And we'll round out our list with the gorgeous lilac-crowned Amazon. This one's a bit rarer to see, and that subtle, beautiful plumage makes it a real prize among serious breeders. So, what does it actually take to become one of those serious breeders? Let's find out.
Okay, so you've picked your species, but here's the thing. Successful breeding is not just about sticking two birds in a cage and hoping for the best. It all comes down to what I call the 3 pillars of preparation. If you can nail these, you are setting yourself up for a much smoother ride.
Let's break these down. First, and honestly, this is the most important one, the bond. You need a genuinely bonded pair, and that is something you just cannot force. It has to be real. Second, their home. They need a secure, quiet, private aviary. That privacy gives them the sense of safety they need to even think about nesting. And third, the food. The right diet is literally the fuel for this whole, very demanding process.
Now, let's look closer at that diet, because every single item on this list has a job to do. High-quality pellets are your foundation. The daily fresh stuff, veggies, fruits, that's for all the vital nutrients. Calcium, well, that is absolutely non-negotiable. The hen needs it to form strong eggs. And those sprouted seeds, think of that as their protein shake to power them through the breeding season.
So, once all your prep is done, you can finally enter the breeding cycle itself. But you gotta be patient here. This is not a quick thing. We're talking about a pretty major time commitment, a journey that can take up to 4 months from that very first egg to a fully independent chick.
So here's how it plays out. It all starts when the hen lays her clutch, usually 2 to 5 eggs. Then she's on duty, incubating them for about 24 to 28 days straight. Once they hatch, the chicks spend the next couple of months fledging. That's when they grow all their feathers and get strong enough to leave the nest. But the parents' work isn't done. The final stage is weaning, and this is critical. It can take all the way up to week 16, as the parents teach their babies how to eat all by themselves.
All right, this brings us to our final, and you know what? Maybe our most important section. Because breeding these incredible birds isn't all sunshine and cute baby chicks. It comes with some real difficulties and a huge, huge amount of responsibility.
This is the question every single responsible breeder has to ask themselves over and over. Because in the real world, that perfect timeline we just looked at, well, it doesn't always play out that way.
So you really have 2 paths here. The responsible breeder, their goal is to help conservation. to reduce the demand for wild-caught birds, and to always put the health of their birds first. But the pitfalls, they're serious. Things like egg binding, which often comes from that lack of calcium we talked about, or stress from too many disturbances, aggression from the male, or even parents rejecting their own babies.
And in the end, it really all comes down to this. The journey is tough. It takes knowledge, dedication, and a whole lot of heart. But for the people who do it right, the reward is so much more than just watching healthy chicks leave the nest. It's knowing that you're playing a small part in making sure these magnificent birds are around for generations to come.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. After everything we've talked about, from the right diet and housing to the ethics and the conservation side of it, what do you think is the one quality, the single most important trait that separates a good breeder from a truly great one? Thanks for joining me on this journey.
Pop, 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 pop.